So what is a language vlog? It's just a way for me to reflect upon what I've been doing during the day or the days that the vlog is covering. I view it's kind of like a nice way to get regular content out that is self-reflective and enjoyable. I guess it's kind of like a diary where I can just think out loud, put my thoughts out there, and also get feedback from you guys. Like, how do you think the direction I'm going is it positive? Is it negative? Have you been through similar things? And yeah, it's a way to strike up conversation, but also it's not too heavy. I can just sit down for maybe half an hour and obviously edit it down so it won't be quite that long, don't panic. But yeah, just really think about what I'm doing. I'm at a stage now where I'm just looking to enjoy studying languages. I'm not studying any languages formally, so I don't take any classes, I don't have a tutor. I'm really just doing it for fun. For the last 2 weeks or so, I have lacked motivation. So instead of trying to get back into grammar, reading, writing, speaking all immediately, I just picked the thing that I enjoy the most, and that is reading. I've been also really meaning to get back into Japanese for a long time, but the JLPT has kind of scarred me from actually formally studying. And I think it's the association with studying Japanese has been that for a good few years now. But just reading in the language, it's fun. I don't have to think about practice questions and new grammar patterns. I can just enjoy consuming the language. And I think I need to associate Japanese more with fun again, just so that when, oh, should I study Japanese today? When that question arises, I can just think to myself, yeah, I'm going to do some Japanese today, and it's do some reading, watch a show, and enjoy the language for what I initially enjoyed it for, which was just listening to it and hearing it and reading it. Saying that, I do intend to take JLPT again at some point, but not in the near future. One thing, obviously, with everything going on in the world, I'm not even sure if the exams will be taking place, but also my level really isn't there at the moment. I need to push my level in terms of, especially because of the structure of the exam, reading is hugely important, especially reading speed. I've never read frequently enough in Japanese to push my level really high, so if I can read daily, I think my reading level at least can be higher than it ever was in a relatively short amount of time. Now that I've actually done it in Swedish, definitely confidence booster I can bring over to Japanese and other languages as well. So I started off with about half an hour of reading in Japanese, and I was using the Japanese Web Easy, which is essentially a kind of a news website aimed at Japanese school children, where they can read the full news but in a slightly simplified form. So that was good fun. It took about 10 minutes to really get back into the rhythm of things because I haven't been reading Japanese all that frequently at the moment. But yeah, it was a little tricky at first just to kind of wrap my head back around sentence structure. But it took probably a shorter time than I actually thought to ease back into it. And that was good fun. So I want to be doing that going forward, just doing some light reading, especially news, because I read news daily anyway in English. So why not just transition that into other languages? So preferably at the moment, Japanese and Swedish, because they're really the only languages I could actually do that in. So yeah, started off with that. I'd say my main focus still is Swedish. That's the main language that I've been pushing with and actually trying to purposely push up my level. I've kind of gone from a beginner level to, I'd say at least a solid intermediate. I can read things with relative ease in terms of sentence structure. Vocabulary is something I'm trying to boost at the moment by using Memrise. And yeah, I'm happy with how my Swedish is progressing. Speaking, it's not quite there yet. I will do a progress video when I feel as if my language has improved enough to actually justify one. But in terms of comprehension, it's rising quickly. So secondly was reading in Swedish. As I said before, a couple of weeks ago I was reading every day in Swedish, and it didn't take that long to ease back into it. After about the first 5 minutes or so, it was fine. And it's the first time I probably properly read in two languages in the same day, other than English. and I was concerned that it would be a case of it's difficult to transition between the two, maybe get into the zone of one language's structure. But yeah, it was actually no problem at all. I think it's because I've studied Japanese for so long and started so long ago with that it's very much just ingrained. And it's different enough from Swedish where I'm not going to get it confused. So with Swedish, I've been using again, another kind of web newspaper that's aimed at school children, so kind of a digest of the news in a more simplified format. And that's been really fun. Like, I've been able to read general world news, so that's been kind of what I'd read already, but also news specifically about Sweden. So I'm learning a lot about how Sweden functions, especially in terms of government and just kind of keeping up with current affairs, which I wouldn't really know about. I wouldn't really know where to look for. And if I'm going to learn about it, it might as well be in Swedish. And also other world news that isn't covered in the UK. So certain events that have gone on, or in certain countries that, yeah, if I watch the BBC or Sky News, it doesn't appear. So it's been refreshing in that respect as well. What's good about reading the news in Swedish is that I'm learning a lot of new words, but also because news cycles are quite long. So say coronavirus at the moment, or say there's a natural disaster or something like that, or even the protests going on in America. The words are introduced but then repeated over several days or several weeks. So it really solidifies words in my mind without actually explicitly having to do flashcards. So that's actually quite a nice change of pace, because I'm really used to just doing lots and lots of flashcards. That's kind of my bread and butter for acquiring vocabulary. So I'm still going to be doing that, and I'm probably not going to be doing that for Japanese anytime soon, but definitely for Swedish, trying to boost that up to get my kind of core word set, just to broaden really. Reading regularly in Swedish, I feel, has really improved my comprehension level. Just kind of, I get to a point where I can more or less not think in the language, but when I'm actually consuming it, I can actually read a sentence in a relatively natural flow. I can understand it as I'm going along. I don't have to read the sentence, reread it. Oh, what's this part of the sentence mean? What does that part of it mean? And then piece it together. I'm actually getting some kind of flow going. So at least in terms of comprehension, I'm starting to think in Swedish. Speaking is a completely different matter because I'm not practicing it. But I think once I've get enough input, then when it does come to speaking, it'll be a lot easier. So tomorrow is just going to be more of the same. So read, maybe try and do a bit more reading in Japanese and Swedish. I want to also get back onto memorize with Swedish. I'm not desperate to learn hundreds and hundreds of words in short succession, but just get back into at least revise words I'd learned before, kind of solidify them in my mind a bit more, and then slowly progress in the amount of words I know. Because that's pretty much the thing that's holding me back at the moment, is just lack of vocabulary. I am tempted to restart Duolingo for German. I'm not sure if I'll do it tomorrow, but probably at some point in the next week or so, just so I can kind of make a start with it, get the ball rolling. It's not too similar to Swedish, and my Swedish is at a level now where I think it is enough of a difference to actually start it. And even if I do, it will be very slow progress. Like, I'm in no rush. Focus is still Swedish. So I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow. There's no concrete plan yet, as I said, but yeah, definitely more reading. But if you did enjoy this, feel free to subscribe, and I shall see you hopefully tomorrow, and it should be very, very regular. But yeah, see you tomorrow.